guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm here with a pretty exciting video. So today is all about Thorpe Park, and over this year, over the 2019 season, I'm hoping to become more of a Thorpe Park vlogger, which means better vlogs, more videos like this where I explain things and get people gassed about it. Anyway, today I thought, you know, Thorpe Park have been releasing their winter update videos, which are really cool. It means you get to see the park when it's closed, see the work they're doing, and it's just a good way to like show people what they're doing and to get people excited for the season coming up. So today I thought I'd do a recap video on all their updates, so from 1 to 12, just like going back and telling you guys what they've said and showing you what's coming. Now I'm very excited for this because, guys, we are only 20 days away until the annual pass day, which is the 23rd of March. So it's kind of 20 days till the park opens, but if you're not coming to the annual pass day, then it's a little bit longer. But anyway, we're basically only 20 days away from the park opening, which is so sick. There's been loads of work being done, new stuff. And yeah, this pass day is going to be so much fun. If you're going to be there, maybe type in the comments, tell me, maybe like the video. And if you're excited for an amazing year at Thorpe Park, everybody, smash the subscribe button and like if you enjoy this video. But without any further delay, let's do this. So in video number 1, they start talking about it opens a Swarm. They're showing you what they're doing with Swarm, and they're showing that they take they strip the coasters, the trains down to like the bare minimum, and they show you like they have insurance companies come in and check. So they take it apart, the insurance check the ride, and then they put it back together basically. So yeah, video 1 is about Swarm. It tells you a little bit about it. It shows you one of the engineers, and it yeah, shows a bit of the ride. So it's really cool. They also tell you that the island is actually the busiest time of the year, because a lot of people think that they just go home and leave it and then they just come back in like the day before and like tidy it up a bit. But actually from November till March they're working like crazy. They're changing things, they're refixing things, they're making it look better, and so yeah, they're doing loads of things. It also tells you that, which I didn't actually know, during the winter they take the outdoor games, so like the basketball games and the sort of arcade games that are outdoors, like around the Old Town section, they take them to a warehouse just to store from the cold, because the cold can damage them and make them split. And they also say that the entire resort gets a deep clean, which is always good, so just any like moss or mould, and they just jet wash things and make it look better. The cool thing that they do is they show you that engineers obviously work all around the island and they need to get to places quickly to get the work done. So they actually ride around on bikes, which is pretty cool, because I mean if you work at Thorpe, how fun would it be to ride a bike around Thorpe Park? Like, you need to get to Swarm and you're at Soar, you just zoom across with a bike. That would be very fun, but it's pretty cool to see the engineers all go around on bikes. I mean, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so that was the end of the first video, so now let's move on to number 2. So number 2 is about Stealth. So it's it was the tallest roller coaster in the UK. And this one they're again explaining to you that they strip it down. They do this to every ride, obviously, to make sure it's safe and it's working. So they strip it down and check the skeleton, check the ride, make sure it's working and all not damaged and it's ready for the next season. It also shows you one of the engineers talking about it. So yeah, that's good as well. And another interesting thing about this video and about the Stealth is they actually show the little red cash car, I think it's called. Yeah, so it's called a catch car. So that's what they show you, the machinery and the hydraulics, and it's really like stuff I've never seen before, and that's what pulls Stealth to go that 80 miles per hour and over the loop. So that's some really cool sights that we've never seen before, and won't normally see. So that's really cool to find out about that and how Stealth works, and that whole, didn't even know it's called a catch car, so that's pretty cool. Now moving on to number 3 now. This one's pretty cool because it actually starts with wind and they're at the top of Nemesis. So yeah, now an interesting thing about Nemesis is it's probably one of the biggest things that's happening to the park during the closed season, but they're actually getting a new lift chain fitted. So the old one's being removed and they're putting in a new one. So yeah, you see an engineer talking about that. So the ride's been there for 15 years, it's the same chain for 15 years, so it's good just to, and there's no problems with it, it's just good to just keep changing it to make sure it's totally safe for the public to ride. So it's good that they're looking out and they're changing the chain and making the ride look more fresh and ready. And also the motor and gearbox, they said, are getting refurbished. So they're fresher and newer for the ride. So the old chain they remove in sections and they place on pallets to be taken away. And the video also finishes with some cool shots of the water, the lake around Thorpe Park and the boat and stuff. And they also pan over and say that Saw's getting a jet wash, which is nice because I like the black of Saw. So they're just washing away any dust or dirt to make it look nice and fresh and clean for the new season. So moving on to number 4 now, they start talking about the flat rides. So they say that the flat rides get as much attention as the roller coasters because they're also very important. So they show you what they're doing with Rush, and they show you Rush and they take the cables down, and they say that they're getting inspected just to make sure they're nice and strong and they're not damaged in any way. And they also show you work they're doing over at Samurai, saying that they're taking the gondolas, so the chairs, to a warehouse to be inspected just to make sure they're still working properly and there's no issues there. And what's cool is they actually show you Zodiac, which just looks like abandoned. It's weird, it looks like it's being built or it's like fallen apart, which it basically has. So it's just the round wheel with no gondolas or cars on it, and they show you inside the Angry Birds dodgems, which is pretty cool. And what they do is they, obviously the same with the roller coasters, they remove the dodgem covers so they can inspect the dodgems, but they also keep the Zodiac gondolas in the thing. They put like a tent around it to keep it insulated and to keep it dry in there, and they keep the gondolas in there, and they say it's a good place to work on them because it's dry and warm and they can heat it. So that's pretty cool to see that they do work actually inside the Angry Birds Dodgems arena. And it looks weird to see the floor, like it's like wooden pallets, it's not like the normal metal. It looks pretty weird. And they also show you that they put scaffolding up on Colossus so they can get up there easily because it is quite high and it is hard to get to. So that's another pretty interesting fact, that they put scaffolding up at Colossus to get up there, so that's pretty cool. So moving on to number 5 now. This one is more, they're just filming general production, they're not focusing on a ride, and they're just getting people excited by, they say, it's 2019 and a new season is on the horizon, so that's just to get people like, oh my god, that is getting close. So they have a shot of the teacups and flying fish, and they just tell you that the work is continuing, so they're just carrying on to inspect and rebuild rides. And they also show the warehouse, and they actually say how many rides can you see in this warehouse, because they have different parts of every ride, like flying fish and seats from Saw and all loads of different things. So it's pretty cool just to see a massively busy warehouse where they must work. So, and they also say that the countdown to the 2019 season has begun. We hope to see you there. So that's just getting us excited and making us want to come back. Now on to part 6. We're halfway there. This one's pretty cool because they open it with them showing you editing the map. So that's something you obviously never see, which is really cool. So you see someone I think editing a website, so they're enlarged, like sizing icons and placing them, and then they're putting trees on the new map. So that's all really cool to see them doing. Is developing a new map, which you don't normally see them doing. You just see the finished product. So, and something really interesting they said is that in November they helped to plant 140 acres of woodland. So this is just helping the environment, something good that Thorpe Park are doing. They're giving back. So yeah, it's really nice to know that they're actually doing stuff to the environment. Like they helped plant 140 acres. Like, that's massive. And over at Colossus they show you that the track bed has been drained, so it's quite swampy, it's a lake, and they remove the water so they can inspect the bolts and the nuts on the support beams. They said it's been drained and maintained, so it's a pretty nice word. And they also tell that over at Nemesis the new chain has arrived and it's being installed, so that's good. So it means it will definitely be available in 2019. So they'll be installing that soon and getting it up and running. So okay, and on to 7 now. This one's cool because they show you Dan Barnes' Ghost Train, and obviously there's not so much they can show you inside because it will ruin the illusion. So there's still people who have done the ride lots of times, like myself, who don't know the illusion on how they changed the warehouse and the building, and it's really confusing. But anyway, they show you a little bit of that, and they show the engineer who tests that, and they said something like they have to do 10 checks on every VR headset and the PC that runs it, and there's 172 headsets, so it's a crazy job, and it must take so long. In total that's 1,720 checks, so wow, he has a long job. But anyway, they get it done, and more or less all of the time the ride is operating smoothly, so that's great. They also show you a nice little time lapse of the actual warehouse being built. I don't think I saw that. I don't know, I wasn't really into Thorpe Park that much when it was being built. Well, I was, but I didn't really know it existed. But yeah, it's a cool time lapse of them building it, and it's cool to see it go up so quickly. So that's really cool as well. But that is a pretty short video, but it's alright. It's all about Ghost Train, and we love Ghost Train. So moving on to number 8 now. So number 8 starts pretty cool. It's kind of creepy. It's all about Saw the Ride. So it's like eerie music, and it's dark, and they're showing you Saw. And yeah, it shows you the engineer who's working on it, and they show you what he's doing. And they again are stripping it down to like the skeleton, and they're having it inspected to make sure the parts are working correctly. Yeah, so it's really interesting to see the ride stripped off. Like, you don't normally see, you just go on it. Another interesting thing is they show you the split, while you know there's a split in the middle of the car, and there's a pivot axis, which means the car can like turn like this. And that's because some of their turns are so tight and so strict and quick, and that the actual carriage has to turn because of how fast it has to twist, because of how fast it turns and tilts. So that's really interesting. I didn't know that, but I've never seen it, so it was really cool to see that as well. So moving on to number 9 now. This one is just recapping what they're doing. They're starting to get rides back to the park. They're starting to set the park back up. So they show you, they say after partying with all the animals, partying with all the other rides over Christmas, some of the rides are getting back on their tracks. They show you flying fish, getting reinstalled and getting reconnected, ready to start again. And also they say over at Tidal Wave they've removed the bridges. So there's no way to enter or exit the ride, so they actually say how are you going to exit the ride. So they must be doing work to reinforce it and to make it stronger and safer. They also show you that over at Colossus it's receiving some TLC, tender loving care, so they're just washing it a bit, making it look a bit nicer, a bit fresher, and they're saying it's unearthing the amazing theming, the beautiful theming. So they've got like stars, marble stars under the water that you don't normally see. They also show you the big stone hedge, you know, that's on the wall. Yeah, I mean, that's a really nice piece of theming. They also show you over at the dome, they're throwing like rubbish into this big blue barrel, and they're saying what's happening here, they don't tell you. So I don't know, they must be doing some sort of work inside the dome. I have no idea what they're doing. It could be refurbishing a shop, or building a shop, or building something new for the dome. But it's exciting to go back to the park and see what they're doing with the dome. So yeah, that's definitely something interesting to think about. Now moving on to part 10 now, we're nearly finished with the Thorpe Park winter updates. They show you Quantum, and they say that it's unrecognizable, which it is really. It's only because I know the park so well that I can recognize it. But they take it apart, they literally strip it completely, so it's even the seats, so it's just a blue metal plate if you want, and they again check that, make sure it's all working correctly. Yeah, they then go to Nemesis, and they show you that it's having a jet wash just like Saw did, so they're just cleaning it again. Already got the new lift chain, so they're cleaning it, making it look fresher and better. And they've also added some extra little theming, so they've added like a crocodile in the lake. When you go over the first loop, there's a lake, and they have a little crocodile there now, and they're just adding little bits to make it look funner, like cooler and more interesting. Now moving on to part 11. So we're nearly finished now. Now this one's about Colossus. Colossus is definitely one of my favourite rides. If I was to work at Thorpe Park, I'd love to operate Colossus. Colossus, I don't know why, I know it's a bit shaky and it hurts, but I just love Colossus. I'd love to operate, I'd love to work on it. But yeah, so this one's all about Colossus. They're showing you again, they're stripping it down to the skeleton, checking the components. The insurance companies are coming and making sure everything is working properly and everything is safe. So then they can just rebuild it again, test it, get it back on the track, and get it working again. And they say that obviously the insurance company checks over every component before they rebuild the whole thing, and they actually show all the wheels, and it's crazy. Like, you'd never think there's that many wheels on the actual car. So there is loads of wheels that they have lined up, so it's really cool to see. And another thing they show that's quite interesting is that they don't normally pay attention to is the brake plates. So they're the alloy plates that go along the side, and they're metal, they're big magnets, and they are the braking system. So they run through big sets of magnets that are at the side of the track, and that's what slows down the train before it comes into the station. It's a clever way to stop the train, and then they can make it slower or quicker. So the magnet, they will just grab onto that magnet, and it will slow the train down. So you don't normally see stuff like that, so that's really cool to see. They also said that this year all around Colossus the land is getting developed, and they also said that where there was formerly a lake, so there was water, they've removed it and they've dirted it off, so it's now ground, so it means it's easier to get to the post support, so they can check the nuts and bolts and stuff, so it's easy to, it does make sense. It looks cool with water, but it does make sense for them to make it dirt so they can get to it easier, and yeah, check it if they need to. So now moving on to part 12, our final part to cover, and they show you, which is quite exciting, the coaster's getting back on track. So it shows you Swarm going round, it shows you Stealth going round, and it just shows you that they're getting back on track and that they're getting ready to open. It also uses the Thorpe Park soundtrack, which has got like all the rides in it, so it's got like I'm a Celebrity, the Nemesis, and Colossus, and Swarm, and Stealth, and everything, and it just it sounds amazing, and it's such a cool track, so I'd recommend going and checking it out. I'll link it in the description actually, but it's a really cool song, so I'd recommend going and checking it out. And they say at this point of filming they had done 20,000 hours of work, which is crazy. Over 20,000 hours of work. That is just unbelievable. And they're really mainly saying thank you to the workers, because they said they've worked all through the winter, sometimes in sub-zero temperatures. So I mean, I'm sure they wish they could work for the summer, but that just wouldn't work. So yeah, they're out there in the cold, working on these rides. So it's good, and they're getting ready for us. So we should be thanking them really, because they're making the park better and ready for us to enjoy. And they also show you all the engineers that they covered in the videos, just them like having fun and enjoying themselves, and then it actually finishes with a really nice drone shot of all the staff and all the engineers, so it comes down over the park, so you get a shot of the park and then you see all the workers. So that's just a nice ending shot of their winter updates. So yeah, that's very cool. But anyway guys, that is the end of the 12 winter updates from Thorpe Park. Some quick news that I forgot to mention at the beginning. Unfortunately, I mean, I didn't know I was going to be this upset. Not long ago, Thorpe Park released a tweet officially announcing the closure of Loggers Leap. So that has been open for very long. I don't know exactly, but I think it was installed in the 1970s or 80s. Yeah, so it's been there a long way before I was born. And I only actually rode it about 3 or 4 times, so it's quite annoying. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with the area, but I did really enjoy Loggers Leap. I mean, Jack Silkstone did say that he didn't mind. He didn't mind if they kept it because he loved the ride, or if they got rid of it and because they're going to build a coaster or something. Maybe we could have a coaster by 2020 by the earliest, but we're looking roughly about 2021, 2022. But also, just covering on that, which is another thing that Jack Silkstone said in his video, Platform 15 is the maze that runs along the Loggers Leap track. So I don't know what there's no way that they could have that maze if they're going to close this ride. So that could be announcing that Platform 15 is not coming back this Fright Nights. We don't know. I have no idea. It's just a complete guess. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, I love Platform 15. That's probably my favourite maze. So I don't know how they're gonna. I mean, it won't really work in another area. So I don't know what. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna make up for it, but I don't know I don't know what they're gonna do, because they definitely can't go where it normally goes. But still, I'm very excited to see what they do with the Loggers Leap area and to see what they build on it. Yeah, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're excited for an amazing year of Thorpe Park vlogs, Thorpe Park videos, smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to be heading down to the park loads this year, so make sure you give me a comment and yeah, tell me what you want me to do, tell me what you want to cover in my videos. I'm excited for this year. Comment down below if you might possibly see me on the 23rd. I've been Ezra. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.